again.
Back
again.
Monty's back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Monty's been out for a few weeks. So, and we got our good friend and our brother, Derek Stoner, on tonight.
Welcome.
Hey,
Thank y'all. Appreciate you having me.
thanks for taking some time out to come on.
You drove far to get here.
I did.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it was a long ways. It took me, it was half a mile, I think.
Yeah.
A long haul.
Live from Hyperactive Audio.
Absolutely. Love it in here.
Yeah.
And Monty, he's been at the Keys.
Well, yeah.
He said he was going to go for a week, and then we didn't hear from him for another week and
No, it's about a week and a half. Yeah. But it wasn't all the Keys the whole time. I was in Port Orange for a while and then went to the Keys for 4 days and then came back to Port Orange, Florida.
Is that down there by the Keys?
No, it's by Daytona Beach.
Okay. Yeah.
So what made you decide you weren't ready to come home? Just sun time, or were y'all doing active, like actual planned things, or just winging it?
Just winging it. But so when we were going to leave, we had that bad weather coming in and our flight got canceled. And then our return flight, wasn't really thinking about it. We figured we still had it, but we checked on it a couple days before it was supposed to fly out and realized they'd canceled it too because it was your returning flight on a round trip. So we're like, well, we'll just ride back with our friend, being that he's going back on Saturday anyway, being that our flight was canceled. So,
Oh, worked out.
Worked out.
Worked out.
Well, welcome back.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You're so tan.
Yeah. You're so tan.
Got a little bit of a tan.
Yeah. Cole? No, you've been here.
I've been here. Feet are a little red, but I've been here.
Yeah, me and Cole just got off a camping hike.
Yeah. Bit off a little more than
We broke him
I
in.
intended to chew, but I chewed it.
You chewed it. We broke
chewed
you
it.
in right.
Brittany chewed it too.
His wife, she's been on the Camino de Santiago, so
Mhm.
she knows all about it. And
Yeah.
it wasn't anything. We broke him in really good.
I didn't have the right shoes, probably didn't have the right socks. We did a 10-mile canal loop and then have a cooler with wheels. It was an awesome campsite about a mile and a half into the trail. And we thought it just, I was going off the fact that Chase didn't say no, brother. That's
say
the wrong
no.
that's the
I was
wrong
like,
move.
hey.
You don't want to do that. So I was like, okay, then
Hey,
this can't be too bad.
Hey,
of a
that's
screw
me.
up.
It's like, hey, I've been through some shit. We can do this,
Hey.
And
We made it.
hey, and that first,
A 25-mile hike turned into an hour and a half
yeah,
brawl with that cooler and that trail.
that cooler, we come down the trail and it's like a switchbacks. The first part of it, if you remember, cut through D. If you come down from the welcome station, you do some switchbacks right off that bridge, and we made it like, well, we figured some. I'm not going to say no because I'm up for trying new stuff, and
Hey,
if it's, I always say do difficult stuff, do hard stuff, and
we didn't even float the idea. We all probably thought, fuck
I was
this,
like,
but we did not say it. We just
No.
kept repeating David Goggins.
who's going to carry the boats? Who's going to carry the boat? We got that first switchback. We went up and come back, and you learn some stuff when you're struggling. It's like, okay, I'll carry the cooler or pull the cooler first, and then you go here to so far, and it's like, I'm gassed. I got a pack on too. Actually, I had 2 packs on.
Yeah,
I had 2 packs on, and I'll get the cooler, and then so Cole pulled it around, and then we stopped, and we were both kind of gassed a little bit. We done hike 10, 11
Brittany
miles,
said step aside.
and we were like, look back, and we could see the trucks, and we were like, this is right here, and I was like, are they going to break right now? Are they going to break? And if they would have said turn around, I probably would have said, okay, we'll turn around, but Brittany stepped up and said, I'll pull it. So we pulled it through the switchbacks. There's 3 switchbacks. We got to the power lines, and that's when we figured out, I think that's where we figured out, I said, hey, won't you grab one side of the handle, and I'll grab the one side of the handle, and I'll hide a backpack somewhere.
Yeah.
One of my packs, and I hit a pack in the woods, and we hit it up. He had one side of it, and it wasn't easy, but it wasn't possible before then. and that's a good lesson too. It's like,
yeah, and it got tight.
double team,
One of us would make sure
teamwork.
Brittany was willing to help. There came a point where we just really didn't let her. So I mean, she
was a stabilizer.
yeah, she was stabilizing. She was carrying some bags, but I mean, and skip to the punchline. We definitely on the way back to the vehicle. I was looking at the map, found a shortcut, an old state road. It was gated off, but you could walk it, and it was smoother and flatter and better. So all we had to do was get it up the hill from where we were camping, and that turned out to be, using fresh broken legs, and at least the better method of double pulling. Got it up there. Chase shotgunned a beer at the top.
I did.
I casually drank a beer fast and shotgun it.
Casually.
You got to celebrate. Like I said this morning or last night. Well, this morning when we ate breakfast, I said every
Best
day
breakfast.
a warrior breakfast we had. I said every day's a holiday and every meal's a feast. You made it to, that's a big hill. We pulled that cooler up.
And you pulled it there for breakfast. Right?
I pulled it there and I said, Cole said, I pulled a beer out of the cooler. When we get back, I'm going to celebrate. I said, well, I'm going to pull one out and I'm going to shotgun one when we get to the top of this hill. And
we have a video, so
yeah,
maybe we'll get that up there somewhere.
Yeah, we'll post that sometime. My mother will be very proud of it.
I mean, it was an accomplishment. I was telling Chase there's definitely been times where either like whenever I would get in the habit of going to the gym or things like that where it was like a kids bit off more than we didn't realize we were getting into, ended up walking just miles or whatever. Various reasons where I was just dead the next 2 days or whatever. So I have never physically pushed myself. The cooler really sealed the deal on all my aches and pains, but just
That's good for you.
I've never put myself through something like that.
That's good for you, Derek.
It is.
It's about 17 miles.
It's great. It's kind of funny to me listening to you guys describe this. What you've just done to yourself was put yourself through a mini, like in SF selection they call it like a team week.
Yeah, that's
all
exactly.
all the dynamics that you just described is literally like what they're going for.
Yeah, it's good for you. I mean, you learn a lot.
Got to challenge yourself.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, take this cooler out and figure out how to get it 2 miles into the woods, get it to the lake. It's like, just figure it out. Yeah. Figure out the best way.
It's like you hid your pack. You started adapting, overcoming, two-manning it, that's teamwork, all that stuff.
That's what I told him. I said, you wouldn't believe how much struggle and pain will make you progress into figuring out problems.
Right.
You know that. And
even at the top of when we could still see the vehicles and it was obvious that this was going to suck. And the only alternative was like, fuck, we're not going to be able to camp if I say no. Like, so it is, do you want to go home right now or do you want to camp? Well, fucking camp.
We're going.
The campsite was awesome. It was just like, obviously an established mini backpackers camp there. And there was an awesome little fire pit right on the water. This was happening. And we knew once we got there, it was going to be beautiful. It was going to be awesome. We're going to have the rest of the day because we got a good early start.
Yeah.
So I think for reference, because we brought Derek on, he was in Special Forces, and that's something people ain't going to know. But that's why you're seeing that as
right. Yeah, but there was a lot of similarities there.
Yeah.
It's like a very compact version of some kind of training.
I can see that.
Some of the kind of the initial training that they put you through to I guess test your mettle.
I can see that.
Yes, because it's going to end. In all trainings, if you get that in your head, like I was, it sucked, a couple times, but I've been through trainings too, and I was like, well, at some point this is going to end. We're going to get to the destination, or we're going to quit one, and
right, and that's the whole thing. Are you going to quit? Are you going to quit? Are you going to stay? Right.
And we would pull that with all that stuff on us, and the cooler. We would pull it so far, and then we'd stop, and then it wasn't too much longer.
Switch hands, whatever.
And that's the way it always is. And it's like there's an end point, but if you look at the big picture, you're gonna get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So, you got to look at that little picture, even if it's like here to that tree, or if it always gets down to like just one step in front of the other as far as you can go. And Cole learned that this
I
weekend.
mean, even jokingly, we were talking about where we wanted to get good footage for, social media. We had a GoPro. We were taking pictures, making the joke the whole way, man, get the shot for the gram, get the shot for the gram. So as much as we can joke and did joke about it being sort of like, well, we're going out there to get some Lyfe Chaser, kind of good promotional, good video, good photos. We lived a Lyfe Chaser lesson sort of thing, or at least I did. It was cool. It was
That's what you want.
I do have a question though. Like
Yeah.
you're talking about teamwork and trying to think of solutions in order to solve this cooler problem.
Yeah.
I got to thinking, if it were me, I might have drank like 6 of the beers.
Once we got to camp,
So
it was Operation Make That Cooler Be Lighter.
It was.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, if y'all would have just hurried up and drank some beer, man,
Dude.
it might not have been as hard.
Beer was the last thing I wanted
I told
on the
Cole.
way to the campsite.
Yeah, I told
But as
Cole
soon as we got there, beer happened.
very quickly.
Sorry, it was just running in
No.
my head this whole time. I'm
No.
thinking maybe they should have just lightened up the cooler. a
Looking
little
back, there was about 5 things that could have been done differently, starting with my shoes. But yes,
It's amazing. Like you're pulling it up and down those are some big hills,
bit. They are.
and you're in we got to certain points going up those hills. Like we couldn't tag team that cooler, so one of us would have to pull it, and the other one would have to stabilize it because the trail's so narrow. We
Right.
couldn't fix, and that's when it's like this is sucking right now. But you pass over that one hill we did, and then you can see your campsite, and Derek, and some y'all might know it, but it's like you can see the ending, and then you get that burst of that energy that wasn't there before. It's like, well, it's just right there. It's like no matter what, I'm making it now.
There you go.
But if you can't see, but it's there. That's what I said. If you look at the whole picture, you'll get overwhelmed. You got to cut her into little things and here to that tree. If not here to that tree, one step in front of the other. And yeah, it's cool.
oh yeah,
We had a good time. Yeah. Well, cheers to that.
cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Salute.
Tapping.
I don't know.
Let's tap it.
So Derek's on, and he's a good friend of ours, brother of mine, and like most people we know or good friends of ours, we met him to the brew house.
Yeah.
We did.
And
Yeah.
speaking of, he was just there this past weekend, open jam.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Yeah.
This guy, he can sing.
He's got some pipes.
He's got some.
I've
pipes.
never heard the phrase "he's got some pipes" as much as I have when people talk about you, and I've said it probably every time I talk about you to anybody. I was like, the
And-
guy has pipes.
And
You ain't kidding.
and that dude can write some songs too.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
He's got something that most people don't have. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And
Glad to be here.
if listen to the podcast, we try to give people opportunity to give their kind of who you are, your backstory, where you're from, kind of give the audience a picture of you, who you are.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So I guess I was born and raised in Northwest Missouri. Met my high school sweetheart there. We've been married for 24 years now. I hope I didn't mess that up. I'm pretty sure it's 24. Grew up in a very small town, population a little over 200. I actually lived in the country. Lived just it's agriculture, Midwest America, where I grew up. Ended up marrying my wife at the age of 17. She got pregnant. I'll stop and joined the National Guard, and that was in the late 90s. Back then, for some extra income, started laying brick, working at sawmills, stuff like that, to provide for my family at the time. And then 9/11 happened, and I decided to go active duty
Mm-hmm.
for obvious reasons, and then wound up in 5th Special Forces Group at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I arrived. I started my Special Forces training in 2002, right after the 9/11 attacks. And at that time, the course that I went, because it's changed over the years, it took about 2 years to get through there. So I arrived at 5th Group in 2004, and then immediately went over to Iraq to meet up with the ODA, the detachment, the 12-man team that I was assigned to. And then I spent my whole career there. I loved it. I was it's a hard thing to describe. I've never been in like I've never been a biker, but you kind of hear similarities talking to guys that are in bike clubs and stuff like that, the brotherhood and the bonding that they get. But I was literally addicted to it from day one, and that kept me in. And I recently retired from fifth group, the same battalion, same company, all that stuff. I retired 2 months ago from there, so I spent almost 20 years, almost the entirety of my 20 years there, minus my initial training portion.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Hey,
Yes.
Thank
you.
Yeah, well,
Thank you.
of course.
Tremendously.
Thank you. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We have 3 children. Our youngest is 19 now. He still lives at the house right down the road from where we're broadcasting this at. We have a small farm here in Western Kentucky. And now that I've retired, I decided last year, as I initially started the retirement process out of the military, when I kind of virtually lost all my responsibilities at work, I saw that, man, I got a lot of time on my hands. This is not good for a person like me. And it's always been something that I wanted to do, and I just decided to do it. That's the one thing that my career taught me. If you want to do something, don't half-ass it. Just give it your best shot. You know what I mean? You may fail, but
we kind of preach that on here, that
Yeah.
you got to be 100% committed,
Yeah.
and just go for it.
right, yeah, that's the only way. And then you win, lose, or draw, you're going to be better off for it, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much my story.
Oh yeah.
So you like Western Kentucky, obviously.
I do. This is home now. I lived in Clarksville for years, the wife and I, because obviously it's close right there to Fort Campbell. We had actually tried to buy a house, I don't know, 15 years at this point now, out here in the same area in Cadiz, a little farmhouse. It didn't work out. Somebody else got the bid, whatever. And 6 years ago, we ended up getting the farm that we live on now, and this is home. Love the people, love the area.
I mean, you've got some pretty horrible neighbors. But
Yeah, that is a downside. Yeah.
I'm only talking. I'm just giving our producer a little shit, but he's a great guy.
It's a great place to live.
It is.
I've always thought. Don't you? I mean, you talk about it a lot.
It's always pretty out here. Talking about living in West Kentucky in general, or Cadiz?
No, well, Western Kentucky.
I think we have. I mean, I don't know. I grew up in Marshall County. I'm sure everywhere had people like this, or maybe you at some point thought about this. But like, there was always this. I just got to move away. I got to move away when I'm. And maybe I thought that way in a way, but just the older I get, the more I love it here. Just I love it, and even like doing stuff like LBL and getting to know like local talent. Like, you just don't really realize what you have. Whether it's the people, whether it's the landscape, the scenery. I mean,
Totally agree.
Yeah, and plus you're pinched right in between, like, say, Paducah and Nashville, Tennessee.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Where you don't really have to travel all that far to be in the big city with all the stuff.
Yeah.
But you can still go home and not have to deal with all the bull crap
Yeah.
Right.
that they do.
That's it.
You know
It's
what
a
I mean?
good spot.
I really enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, the traffic every day.
Yeah.
I mean, driving through Nashville these days is a headache in general.
Yeah, we're glad you're going to stay. Obviously, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. My parents live right across the road. They live on the same property as me.
And when did they move here?
They've been here for a little over 2 years now. We were able to, an adjoining piece of property to our farm went up for sale, and we were able to get that place. And
Right.
they moved down because they're getting close to retirement age, and it's
Ain't
just
that
nice, you know?
How does it compare here to where you grew up? It sounds like it was a little bit smaller where you grew up.
It's
but
it's a little bit more rural where I grew up, but I mean, the folks, it's virtually the same. You know, it's small town America.
Yeah.
Good
It
people.
really is. It's just good people. Yeah, kind of, and you know, now we've added 20 plus years onto it, where, in my opinion, the whole world in general has gotten worse, but you can still trust your neighbors
Yeah.
and do things like that. So it's great. You know.
I've said that. And Monte disagrees with me every time I say the world's getting worse. And
I just you got to have a positive outlook, man.
I do. I got a positive outlook on myself, but
Don't get me wrong, crime's going up every day, and
I'm
You
telling
mean,
you.
But-
you mean it
but
didn't
no.
magically get better January 1st?
It got a lot better after New Year's, didn't it?
yeah, Yeah,
Like that
you
magic-
might have me there a
that
bit.
magic day.
Yeah, you might have me there a bit.
So when did you start writing music?
I started. I guess it was not this last the December of 2020. So basically, I'd been fiddling around with a guitar for years. I bought one after I returned from my second or third deployment. I realized that when you're overseas, like you're working, but when you're not working, you're either sleeping or you really don't have that much else to do.
Right.
So I decided I wanted to make use of my time, basically. So I took a guitar back with me, and so I'd been fiddling with one for years. Never got any good at it. I'm still not that great at it. But my wife had told me for years that she wanted me to write her a song, and I just blowed her off.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know. I just caught this bug one day. I was watching YouTube, watching some famous folks sing on there, and I was like, man.
Did you know you had that in you to write a song?
No, I didn't. I did not. I didn't know because I'd never even tried. But I know I could make good sounds come out of my face. You know what I mean? So I was like, let me try this.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So, but when I sit down to do it, after the reason why I told you about my wife asked me, I knew it better damn sure be a song for her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't even
Smart man.
better come correct with this one, So
Yeah,
anyway,
better.
and it was right before Christmas 2 years ago, and I wrote her a song, and I had no idea what it took to get into a music studio, and the process, anything. I had no idea on how any of it worked. Did a bunch of research down with Nashville places. Ended up going to the studio. Took her down there with me so we could experience it together. And it's because it's just cool, right?
Yeah.
Because I'd never done it, and I don't know, it's just cool.
Yeah.
And I took it down there kind of like as a Christmas present for her, and recorded a song for her.
In studio.
In the studio in Nashville with the pros,
Yeah.
like the whole nine.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that was awesome. And it actually turned out pretty damn good.
It felt natural, huh?
Yeah. And then
It
we
sounds
just,
awesome.
we just started talking like, well, why don't you try something else? And that's really what started it.
He's like, I can do this.
I mean,
I can do this.
Yeah. Did you have that feeling like when you said, like, this feels good, but you're like, this is something I'm good at. This is something,
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? I think I try to bring my state of mind back to then. I really don't know. I think it was just a lot of unknown. And even now, fast forwarding a little over a year later, if you catch me on a Tuesday, I'll be all gung ho into music and thinking this, and you catch me tomorrow, I'll be like, yeah, I watched up. You know what I mean? It's like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
It really is.
I told Cole
I think that's with anything you have to try that hard to do.
Yeah.
but
I mean,
I told Cole, like, if I'm going to plan a big hike and try to make it to the end of LBL to the other end, or just do a marathon or whatever, I can't be amped up for 6 months.
no doubt.
I got to have a training. Sure, I got to have discipline to do the training, but I can't be amped up about that one event, because I can go like 2 months, 3 months, and then, but if you amp yourself up every day, you get burnt out, kind of. You can't stay on that high. But if you have the discipline and you're good at something,
That's all you can do.
I don't know. I didn't know if you had that feeling. Like, I'm sure Jordan had the feeling, or anybody that's good at something, like guitar playing or whatever. It's like, this feels really good. This feels natural, and I've heard your songs. I've listened to one of your songs most days, but I didn't know if you had that feeling when you walked in that studio. It's like, ooh, this is.
I don't know. To me, because I play live shows and stuff now. To me, everything that really drives, I think the feeling you're talking about, for me personally, is looking at the people listening. And if I can make somebody stop, and you see it in their eyes,
that positive feedback.
like that's it.
They're
to me.
engaged.
Yeah. Like they actually want to listen to what I'm doing right now.
Right.
And I heard you
That's
in
the point.
person before, and right away, which it was a small audience. And yeah, right away, I mean, right when you started singing, I was like, holy cow. Like, and I'm sure you see that in people's eyes.
Yeah, I do sometimes, but all kinds of different environments,
Right.
but for me, that's the feedback that I get, or that I really grab onto. That's what gives me motivation to keep doing it.
You know that movie Walk the Line where Johnny Cash, he's in Germany or something during World War II. He's in the Air Force and he gets a guitar, and he's kind of like just picking on it. He writes, I can't remember what song he wrote, but I just get that picture in my head. I didn't, but you started writing after the Army or right when you were getting out.
Yeah.
Right when he was getting out, yeah.
Yeah. There I don't know. If you're good at something that people can pick up on it. It's very natural for us listening. It's like, well, he's not faking, and you're not faking. When you're performing or your songs, I hate to say that there might be Luke Brighton fans listening to this, but I just yeah, I just don't get, some of the stuff you hear on the radio. It's just like, yeah, you're not really. I mean, somebody just threw this shit together, has no soul into it, or no.
Well, they're not their songs, and probably in the most part that they're just they have a voice. It's a business.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It really is a business.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, because they just hear some of those songs once or twice, and they're like,
some of them they're reading them in while they're recording them.
Yeah,
they don't even
I'll
know
cover
them.
that.
No
You know
shit.
what I mean?
What a thought. What an image.
Yeah.
So what was the name of the song you wrote for your wife?
Even more.
Even more.
Yep.
That's the first song you wrote, and you recorded it, and then you're like, "Oh, this is cool."
So, what brought you in the doors of the brew house and thus into our sort of world?
Realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was actually after that, a couple months later, about a year ago now. I think it was last February. And one of my friends that used to be in the special forces with me, turns out he lives right here in Western Kentucky. We never kept in contact or anything. He'd been out for a long time. But I ended up putting my wife's song on Spotify, and he heard it somehow and figured out how to get a hold of me. And he knew about the brew house because he lives right up there by Benton.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of coaxed me into it. It was a Sunday afternoon. I can remember there sitting at the house, and he called me and was like, "Hey man, I just talked to, I believe it was Austin."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "I want you to come down there." And I was so freaking nervous, but I just had this feeling. I was like, "Hey man, don't be a puss cake. Just try this." You know what I mean? Just go up and try it. And I went up to an open jam in February of last year, and that was it. And I got there, and going in there in the environment that they have set up there is just really encouraging.
Yeah.
You can go in there and you can mess up and be nervous, but nobody's going to boo you. Nobody's going to run you out the door. They're just going to encourage you.
So it was a genuinely positive experience.
I mean, all the way.
Awesome.
Yeah. And every time since I've been back.
I mean, I feel like I've heard your name for years. So it literally just had, like, from the minute you first came to the brew house, I just must have been hearing your name like way before I first heard you, actually. Because the way my swing shift works, I usually miss the jam sessions. Mm-hmm. So if I probably was missing that one for sure. And so, but I've heard Derek Stoner. And then by the time I finally met you, I was like, I don't think I've even heard a song. So what the small audience Monte's referring to, I was in that small audience. But yeah. I mean, I feel like it feels like you've been doing this for years, just because I've been hearing your name much longer than before I actually heard you.
I got that.
So it's wild thinking that it's only been as long as it's been.
I know. The first time I heard him, I was like, this, he, like 10 years.
I mean, even to hear you play, it sounds like you've been doing this for years and years and years.
You're right.
Yeah, just rolling with it, man. I tell you, a big blessing that I've had, especially with that freaking my monster that's sitting over across the room from me there, the guitar. With the last year I was in the military, I was still getting a paycheck. However, I was basically given my own time to take care of my just medical stuff, and it afforded me a lot of I'm talking like a ridiculous amount of hours to sit at the house and play that thing.
Yeah.
You know, literally until your fingers are like crushed.
Right.
But I don't know. That's the only way I think you can accomplish something that's out there, and that's hard.
But you didn't quit. You kept going.
You
just
gotta
like
keep,
all
you
you're
just gotta
talking
keep
about.
doing it, right?
Yeah.
Just keep
Same
going.
thing.
I've definitely put my fingers in the ringer back in the day. It's like been college days that I really put the calluses on my finger. I haven't played guitar like I have before in a long time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know what you're talking about. I mean, it's as bad as my feet suck right now. I've had it on my fingertips.
Right. And I think for me the it's interesting because singing to me has always been easy.
Yeah.
Right? It's like just God give it to me.
Yeah.
He give us all our own voices, right?
Yeah.
But that is not a natural gift for me. You know what I mean? So what I try to do is embrace it and focus on it to help me build my character. Because it's easy to do things that you're good at.
You bet.
Yeah.
Right? We're all good at certain things. And it's really easy to do those and just be awesome at it. And that's it. But I think stepping outside of that and try to incorporate something that you're not really that good at or you got to work hard for.
And keep going.
Yeah. Just keep pushing.
Build the calluses.
That's it.
I want to hear something.
Get them blisters. Yeah.
What we got to do to hear a song?
Yeah. I'll
Ask
play a
him.
song.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, go get that big bastard over there and
Monster.
monster. Oh,
Monster, a beautiful monster.
yeah. Yeah.
I like the inlays on it a lot too. Specifically,
Now
those
you
are
got-
pretty.
Get some calluses on Cole's feet now.
Well, anyways, since he brought it up, I didn't.
Oh,
So we're telling stories here.
Okay.
we got the monster and we got some stories. So
Yeah. So Brian and I were up at Reelfoot Lake down in West Tennessee for a veterans. It was like kind of a veterans musical weekend,
mm-hmm.
but they threw in a fishing guide one of the mornings. We went out to go crappie fishing, and this fella took us out there on Reelfoot. You know, he's a professional guide. That's literally his job. So he obviously knew what he was doing. But we're out there, we're catching. We weren't killing the crappie or anything, or crappie, depending on where you're from. I'm from Northwest Missouri. We call them crappie. But there was one point he moved. That fellow was sitting up in the front of the boat with Brian and I catching the fish. Well, every time we'd catch one, we'd hand it to him, and he had, I think it was like a 24 foot John boat. And I'm telling you, the dude had done it so much. We're facing forwards at the bow. He had a big live well. I mean, it was probably 5 foot wide, a couple of feet, in diameter or in width.
Mm-hmm.
But he would just throw them backwards over his head without looking, and the fish would go in the cooler, right? And I don't remember what kind of exchange happened between Brian and him, but Brian ended up trying one of these, right? And it was the biggest slab we'd caught all day. And Brian throws this thing, and it's an understatement to say it didn't come close to the live cooler. It didn't come close to the boat. It was a great example of catch and release, you know. And that guy was just giving Brian hell, you know. It was good. Yeah.
I like these
That's a good
stories.
time.
You got more of these on him?
Our producer.
Not a lot on Brian, though, but
He's pretty slick. He's
yeah,
pretty
he is.
slick.
And I wouldn't have never even thought about that until he's sensitive about it. You can see right out. Love hurts, you know.
Yeah, it does.
Those are the best stories, though.
Yeah.
When somebody's sensitive about
most of the time when you do the stupidest stuff in life, your friends are with you.
Yeah, so you can never forget.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
they let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. He kept calling him Dad because we'd catch a fish and he was taking it off the hook,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
which is kind of like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know. What we're
So he was kind of like getting him back. He's
was-
like, well, throw that sucker
He was
back there
cutting his
then.
steak for him.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool because I believe Brian was trying to get it in the live well, but I mean
No.
this thing had like a 300 horse Mercury on the back sticking wet. It just
He was trying to get in the live
She
well.
gone. She gone.
She
Hail
gone.
Mary.
That's
He got in the live well, all right. What are you gonna play for us?
Well, I reckon I'll do one of the. It is the newest song that I've released. I put it out. I put an EP out back in December. It was 6 tracks. It included the song we talked about before. My wife's song was on there, and basically every song that I've recorded to this point down in Nashville, put those on there. And the last track to get added to that this last December was this song I'm going to play for you. It's called "Bad Decisions." It doesn't have unlike all of the other songs that I've written, I don't have a very good story about it, to be honest with you. I was kind of the way I write songs now. I'll sit, if you care, but I sit down. I generally start with an idea. And when I say idea, I'm just talking about an emotion, happy, sad, love, something as very generic and broad as that. And then I'll sit down with the guitar and try to find a melody of some sort. With this one, that's what I did. I was like, I need something just like bar-ish. You know what I mean? Something that's going to go good at a bar is what I was trying for. And I ended up coming up with this melody. And my wife was upstairs one night, and when I started playing through it, I had no words at all. And I was just like, yeah, bad decisions. And then she was like, yeah, they're clouding your vision.
Whoa.
And I was like, sold. And then just kind of build it around that. And, it's not like I have a big following or anything, but to this date, when I play this out live, I get the best reception out of this song so far. So I'm hoping, I got some hopes for this thing if I can ever get it pushed to the point where a lot of folks can hear it,
You bet.
Wake up, I'm sorry, an empty bottle of Bacardi is the first thing that I see. I look out the window from back in the shadows. I don't want the world to see what I'm becoming. I'm so busy running from reality. Maybe it's time that I start to rewind that clock that's counting down on me. I'm making bad decisions, they're clouding my vision, turning life upside down. It's 1:45, and then comes the sunlight right before I shut it down. I'm running on empty, and so is my whiskey. Lord, I'm nowhere bound. I'm making bad decisions. She didn't come back, it's so easy to lose track, living life in this haze. Had I known she was gonna be gone, I would have changed my ways. But it's too late now, she's already left town on that late night train. She broke my heart, she tore it apart. Now all I have is pain from making bad decisions to clouding my vision, turning life upside down. It's 1:45, and then comes the sunlight right before I shut it down. I'm running on empty, and so is my whiskey. Lord, I'm nowhere bound. I'm making bad decisions. Go back, I can retrace all of those things, and maybe this way I should have held her, but I didn't tell her I was gonna be this way. Bad decisions, they're clouding my vision, turning life upside down. It's 1:45, and then comes the sunlight right before I shut it down. I'm running on empty, and so is my whiskey. Lord, I'm nowhere bound. I'm making bad decisions. I'm making bad decisions.
Wow.
There it is. Thanks,
Good.
guys.
Well, that's a good
Appreciate
one.
that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a good song.
That is a good song. Bad Decision, Clouding My Vision.
Clouding my vision, trying to make something. If I heard that at a bar, I'd be like, yep.
Yep.
I'm either going to continue on with what I'm doing
Or I might want
or I'm going to cash out.
We all
Yeah.
made some bad decisions. They've all, most of them have clouded our visions.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I've done that over
that
a
one.
couple times in my life, probably.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good one.
That's
I
a
like
good
that
song.
one.
Thanks.
Like I said, pipes.
He has
You
some
Pipes.
ain't
pipes.
kidding.
And he can write some songs, son.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You care to play another one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
why
of
not
course.
just back it right on up?
Yeah.
There's one song that I listen to not every day, but I got a playlist on my phone. It's like, I don't know, but your song's on there. I think it's a Chain Breaker. Is that right?
Break the chain.
Break
Break the chain. Yeah.
Break the
Okay.
chain.
Yeah.
It's one. Once I started listening to him, it's one of my favorites. Too.
Oh man,
It's the one I caught the other day at the brew house.
I get riled
yeah.
up. Hey,
I mean-
when I listen to that, I get riled up. Oh, Jason Rome, me and him always joke. We're in a bar somewhere, or something, and they start playing some Waylon or something like that. He said, I'm about to kick the sand out of the cat box. That means he's about to get riled up. You listen to this song,
Same way.
and that's one of those songs that hits you. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like I could pull a cooler all the way down to them.
Yeah. I'll play this song. This was actually the second song that I ever wrote.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. It's about a year old now, studio wise. And I wrote it with the intention of, I was just thinking about my career and, that the hardships that come with, for my family, it really was at the forefront of my mind, my wife and my children and stuff. And just thinking about the hardships, all the time being gone, and families worrying about you and whatnot. And that's kind of the I guess what do you call it? The foundation of this song.
Yeah.
So kind of like I tried to wrap that in with just my experience throughout my career. So it's kind of a military veteran oriented
You could definitely.
song in my mind.
I love it. Take her away.
Wind on the airfield dries your tears. Been living alone now for so many years. Mountains of memories and valleys of pain. I think it's time to break the chain. We're gonna break the chain, throw it on the ground. We're gonna break the chain that's holding us down. We're gonna break the chain, toss it out to sea. We're gonna break the chain, now it's you and me. We're gonna break the chain. Losses are real and the time is gone. Too many nights spent away from home. Well, Lord, I hope it hasn't been in vain. I think it's time to break the chain. We're gonna break the chain, throw it on the ground. We're gonna break the chain that's holding us down. We're gonna break the chain, toss it out to sea. Yeah. We're gonna break the chain, now it's you and me. We're gonna break the chain. Well, there's a light at nothing we can step in, baby, you can start to see. We're gonna break the chain. Oh yeah, break the chain. We're gonna break the chain, throw it on the ground. We're gonna break the chain, it ain't gonna hold us down, no, no. We're gonna break the chain, toss it out to sea. We're gonna break the chain, now it's you and me, yeah. We're gonna break the chain. Whoa, 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 break the chain.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Really, really like that.
Yeah, you get
That song.
Man, that'll jack you up.
You ain't
It's
kidding.
great with the band behind it, you know.
Yeah.
Get some of that
that's
drums in there.
That's gonna be
Electric
me and
guitar.
Cole's new.
Oh man, you could fuck a cooler up
oh,
to that song.
yeah, who's gonna carry the boats, and we're gonna break the damn chain.
Yeah, no doubt. That song's killer.
Man,
It's a great song.
break the chain on Spotify.
Yeah, it's
where,
everything, right?
hey, where can the listeners find your music?
anywhere y'all listen to music, stream, download, it's there. You know, I have a music. I go through a music distributor. It's on it's on all of it. YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, and there's just so many.
Yeah,
But it's on all of them. You can look for my latest release was the EP I was talking about. It's actually called Break the Chain. I named it after that song. And but yeah, I'm there. DerekStonerMusic.com. Derek Stoner Music anywhere on most social platforms. I can only handle so many. I'm new to the game. I think I have about 5 of them, and that tax has
I'm
been
the
pretty
same
hard.
way. I'm the same way.
But the most popular ones I'm on.
I can handle like 2, and then I have to bring on some people to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Derek Stoner Music, or Derek
Definitely
Stone.
check it out.
Yeah.
We-
If you get up every morning and you're feeling kind of down, you throw that song on. Who's gonna carry the damn boat, son? They don't know me. They don't know me.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to play?
Well, not necessarily. I have a brand new song that's not out anywhere. If y'all want to hear it,
Well,
it's kind of
That's what we were fishing for.
it's kind of it's not a happy story. I'll tell the story about it real quick. It's meant to be deep and heartfelt, and it's sad, to be honest with you. But basically, like I was telling you earlier with my concept of writing songs, in this case, I was like, I want to write a sad / maybe love song type thing, and started trying to come up with melodies, and I found the melody that I wanted, and it says violin, fiddle all over it. You know what I mean? And to me, I'm an old fan of country music.
You bet.
And man, if you want a sad song, there better be a damn violin in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or fiddle or some sort, in my opinion. And I'm looking forward to going down to Nashville, and I got the person to do it. This hasn't happened yet. But anyways, as far as the lyrics go, I was on Facebook one day looking through, and I came across an old classmate of mine. I'm not going to say any names, and this person doesn't even know, to be honest with you. But they lost somebody really close to them in their life. And that's the inspiration of this song. And maybe I'll get to tell them that someday. I don't know. But the song's called How I Pray. We were young, so wild and free. There was no way we could have known when our paths would part and life would change. Destiny would meet its fate. much time has passed since you've been gone. Now my memories fail and fade away. I can't help myself or the way I feel. My only hope remains in how I pray. For when I meet you in the sky and I leave this world behind, He'll send your soul to mine to lead me home. All the pain, all the tears will forever wash away. For my one and only love, this is how I pray, how I pray. I can't take this house or stay in this place. They remind me of the love I lost that day. So this road I'm on, no, I don't give it much thought. My only hope remains in how I pray. For when I meet you in the sky and I leave this world behind, He'll send your soul to mine to lead me home. All the pain, all the tears will forever wash away. For my one and only love, this is how I pray. This is how I pray. Oh, when I meet you in the sky and I leave this world behind, He'll send your soul to mine to lead me home. And all the pain, all the tears will forever wash away. For my one and only love, this is how I pray, how I pray. We were young, so wild and free. There was no way we could have known.
Man, that was awesome.
Whoa.
Sorry, sad song.
Whoa, no, that's a great,
It's a good song though.
man.
Really good.
That's a,
You're really good songwriter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious.
Thanks, I appreciate
No
it.
doubt.
I mean, that's a new song. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
You are-
Unreleased.
Unreleased, yeah.
It may be released by the time our podcast comes out. You never know.
Yeah, probably not. Maybe. What I'm planning on doing this year is putting out a full album this coming December, and maybe 3, maybe 4 singles throughout. That'll obviously be on the album, but I just got to pick
well, that one,
what I want to go. You know,
that one's a keeper. That's
I appreciate it.
it tugs you at it.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, tugs at it. Sometimes all you got is the hope and how you pray.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
We don't talk about it much on the podcast, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, I'm thankful for stuff I pray for. So, yeah, definitely great song.
We talked about it a little bit. You know, you
For
got to
sure.
be careful sometimes of what you pray for because
Yeah,
it hits you in different ways. But
yeah. Benny's hit on that before about
Yeah.
stuff you pray about. You don't know how it's gonna come about, so you better be careful what you pray for.
you bet.
Like Derek said earlier, you got to be 100% committed, and I guess that's the same way with prayer. if you pray something, you better be willing for God to, have faith that He's going to come through, but you don't know how He's going to come through. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was a deep song.
Yeah, it's deep. I've never experienced what that song particularly is about. I've never experienced it, and I loathe the day. I hope I never have to experience it.
Yeah,
But when you're married and you're going through life, one of the two is going to.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Inevitably.
Yeah.
Well, more than likely, but
yeah,
So
I always tell my wife, I'm pretty sure you're going to outlive me. But
yeah, because He's probably going to kill you.
but even if, but my way of looking at that is, that's my wish anyway. Because
For sure.
yeah, I wouldn't want to go through life without my
Right.
significant other.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in that sense,
Mm.
it would be.
It is a weird. I mean, I guess everyone goes through that thought. If you have that to lose, you go through the thought, and in one hand, I don't want to walk this earth without him, but at the same time, if that's how it's gonna hurt for me, it's probably gonna hurt for her. So I'd rather hurt. If one of us has to hurt, I'd rather take the hurt. It's a weird thought.
Oh, I'm not that way.
Yeah,
I'm more
it's
like,
deep. It's deep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, like, to get what you're saying is, personally, I believe the same way you do. That's what I hope. But if you're talking like admirably,
Yeah.
probably what you said.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
Monte,
I hope it's in my sleep and first.
Well,
but at the
yeah.
same time, if it's, but I'd rather be the one to suffer. You know what I mean? I don't know. If I could pick only one of us hurting. Yeah. That's a thought provocative song out there.
Yeah.
Well, my wife always agrees, so I don't think she's too concerned about.
She's just going to wipe her ass on your towel.
I don't know what that refers to.
I don't know. That's the whole filter thing that I'm sure I've mentioned it. That we take in things as people, and he dropped the bomb on you.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Doesn't bother me.
We take in things
Kinda slipped.
especially as men, but men and women, we take in things as people and as souls, and it's like filters. And we take in hate, we take in anger, we take in love, and I think that we should filter the bad out as human filters, and take some of the, you said take in, you want to take the hurt. You'd rather take the hurt than your wife taking the hurt, and that's part of being
Do and don't.
do and
Do
don't.
and don't want to.
Is that a song? Take the hurt.
Not yet.
Do and don't. There you go.
There you go.
Take the hurt.
Yeah. Take the hurt.
Yeah.
You guys claimed it already right now. You
No.
got
No,
you
you
got,
can
you
have
got
it.
writer's creds on
You
here.
can have it. You can have it, Derek.
Yeah.
I'll put it on
Recorded. It's yours.
Yeah. So,
It's something to think about, though.
It's a good. Well, it's just a good. It's an emotion right there. It's a
Yeah.
whole
for
thing.
sure.
What? And
Capture that in words.
I think you're right, though. We filter things. It's best to try to take all that in, but give out all the positive you can.
I think parents do that a lot, right? Parents do that the most. They
Yeah,
try
I
to-
think you're right.
Yeah.
Soul filters.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know that, none of us are parents, but
Well, I mean, if you
probably-
really believe that your 16-year-old child meant the words that they said to you as they were getting in trouble because you just
Yeah.
ruined their weekend,
Yeah.
it would crush your soul.
right.
So you have to filter it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'd be like, no, he doesn't hate my guts.
That's what we are. We're and
That is true.
we should do that more besides our children or whatever. But you don't know what kind of day somebody's having or whatever, and they come to you, and I'm the worst. I'm like, you come to me the wrong way, and you're gonna get the wrong me, but I think we're like human filters. Like you work in maintenance, just like and you all know you got a filter, and you take all the bad shit, and you filter it out
Oh, yeah.
so the shit will run right. You throw some bad shit in an engine or whatever, it's not going to run right. So throw a filter in between there, and that's kind of what we are. We're take the good and the bad, We filter it out and try to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Hold the bad and be man enough to take the bad and filter it out yourself and throw it away. Don't send it on to the next person.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's ugly to you. You don't mean be ugly to the next person.
I'd say I'm not always the best at that,
I'm
but
terrible at it.
Yeah, it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to do, but probably the best thing you do is like let the buck stop there on any bad momentum that's, you know, someone and it hit them and then it hit you and you could have just totally sent that on into someone else and just ruined their day. But if you just like take that, recognize it, like you said, you know, what they're saying right now while they're mad that I'm ruining their weekend, maybe other stuff at school happened that day. So you're catching momentum that went beyond just what you know, as a parent, whatever you parented. And then
How many times when you were
saying, nope, that's
a
not.
young enlisted, you were enlisted, right? How many times you were like a E1, E2, E3, and you could tell your superior, your E6, E7 had a bad day at home,
Oh yeah.
and they brought it
it
to their troops, you know, and they
of
just,
course, yeah.
it's like, we're staying here till I get tired of being here because I don't want to go home.
Yeah.
How many times has that happened, and you're like,
And you know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it shows everywhere, and it just, well, in general, it does nothing good.
and that's passing on. That's passing on something that shouldn't be passed on. You know.
Yeah.
Get my mic right here.
A little above it there.
you were about to eat it.
Yeah.
I thought
sorry.
it was gonna
You
hit you in
about
the
to
throat.
wear it like a lapel.
I have no mic control now.
But
I thought you were gonna wear it as a
maybe at the end
tie.
of the day, I think you hit on it earlier. Is the bottom line is you don't know what somebody else is going through. You know, sadness. I think a lot of times, in the end, turns into anger, and you never really know. You don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know what that person's dealing with.
Mhm.
All you have is your interaction with them. So
The weird thing.
Good point.
Yeah.
The weird thing. This human condition experience we're going through.
It is weird.
But music, like Derek's,
Oh,
helps it out.
music.
Well, I mean, what a beautiful way to take something and process it. So maybe you're feeling it and you're putting it and you're putting it in this package to where it's understandable, and then it helps someone else take what they're not understanding, and it's like they see it. It's like, oh, that's what I'm feeling. That's a way to. It's
Yeah.
such a great way to do something with it, and it's a good way to make sense of it,
Man, I
whatever it is.
I like how you're almost like boxing it up right in your hand on
Yeah.
the for like
Yeah.
we're seeing this,
Yeah,
I mean,
but I like that thought
the
processes
alpha brain.
of like you're
Yeah.
boxing it up and handing it to somebody else, and
Yeah.
you can think of music that way if you think about it.
Yeah, right.
you're
Great.
taking some chaos.
if music, like if it doesn't help somebody, whether it's it has to be an emotion, right? I think if you listen to a song, whatever your song is that you like, it's because it makes you feel an emotion, no matter what that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
It makes
just
you happy,
Even
or
if it's
sad,
bad
or
decisions.
it takes you back to a time with your dad or whatever.
yeah.
And I think to me that's what songwriting is about. Trying to, like you just said, boxing that emotion up, relaying that story, but at the same time, not making it so specific to where it's only your story. Making it where a lot of people, it's never going to be everybody, but a lot of people can grab something out of that
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and apply it to their life.
Well, they call the music the great communicator.
I'd say that's why you're
Universal
probably
language.
a good songwriter because of how
Yeah.
you just put that.
Yeah.
If you can just grab a little bit of
Got
a song,
something real.
you bet.
Absolutely.
Just relatable enough someone can superimpose sort of what they think it's about. There's been a lot of times where it almost ruins a song for me to find out what it's actually about because I think I know what it's about because it kind of applies to me.
Right, but that's a great song because think
Yeah.
about it. If we wrote a song that was, it's literally your story,
Yeah.
it's going to be boring to everybody else
Yeah.
because nobody has the same story as you
Mhm.
or any of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
That's why we don't just talk about one of us all the time on this thing.
We just talk about Chase the whole time and his mustache.
I mean, how can you not talk about Mario?
Oh, that's number 3.
That's number 3.
Oh, it might be 4, actually. I don't even know.
Lord,
Just today.
it's rough. It's rough,
It
Derek.
would be pretty good though, guys. I've listened to some of your podcasts and I like your intro, but if you just, before you lose that, to superimpose, kill your intro music that you have now and put the Super Mario Brothers intro.
He's got a great idea.
This guy.
I'll tell you what. I mean,
It was good to have you, Derek.
boy, that went quick. Yeah.
I was about to say,
We
Chase is
were-
looking at the clock.
Sorry, there's two of these in one.
And me and Cole were about to say, "Hey, man, you come back anytime you want."
Hey, you hang around with these two. Everybody said, "What do y'all talk about?" Like outside of the podcast, I said, "Well, it's pretty much what the podcast is. We talk about some serious stuff. Usually, we pretty much bash each other for a few minutes, and we talk about some serious or weird stuff, and then we bash each other the rest of the time.
It's kind of like
You're not going to hurt my feelings, I promise. You're
Locker room, man.
we just give each other shit a lot. That's what we do.
We do. That's just how it goes. I mean,
And Chase catches a lot of it.
I catch a lot of it, and I filter it out.
How can you not catch shit in that mustache, dude? You catch everything in that
I take it and I filter it, Derek. You know, I'm just trying to.
Who wants a ride?
Trying to make the world a better place. Oh man. But it's been a great few days, sons of bitches. And, me and Cole did the hike. Monte's been on looked like a great vacation.
Yeah, we didn't talk a bunch about that, but I had a good time.
We'll circle back to
We'll
it for
circle
sure.
No,
back.
we're not.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. I'm just, but had a great time. I'm glad Derek was on, so it doesn't
Took the pressure out.
It was
doesn't bother me a bit. I just don't know exactly what you all have said about me on the other podcast
You'll
while I was
find
gone.
out.
So
Oh, you're not gonna know for a while, dude.
I had to get you what I could.
I'm not sure I should have came back for this one yet.
But it's been a great few days. A lot of lessons learned, a lot of
It
struggles.
was a good jam session the other day.
Yeah. So if you want to, you got anything you've learned over the last few days, Cole, that you can tell the audience about chasing life or keeping going, keeping it rolling to live wild and free, anything.
Igloo makes a pretty decent cooler with wheels on it. You know, I would say maybe half mile tops, not in the woods, comfortably. But that it went better than maybe just on paper. I would have told you ahead of time. Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't. Went good. We did it. My feet hurt. Whatever. That's fine. That'll heal in a few days. I'll be fine. I mean, it was great. And now I just want to hike more. So
There you go.
That sounds good.
That's
so
what.
you get out there and do it, and you might just like it so much you just want to keep doing it, as Derek's told us already tonight.
Monty,
What have I learned in the last few days?
You got any wisdom that you can tell the audience?
Well,
Monty,
sure.
do you have anything you want to give our listeners?
Well, sure. If you're running, wear good shoes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll
Right.
take it. I'll
I
take
learned,
it.
yeah.
I'll take,
We were talking about that on the way up here,
I'll
and,
take that and apply it
and
to my feet.
yeah, it was actually my thought process, but it's really, really hitting me right now. So
Amen.
it's something to think about.
Beautiful.
What about you, Derek? You've been through a lot in your life. You got anything for the audience?
In the vein of chasing life.
Chasing
In the
life.
vein of chasing life, yeah. I guess I'll just give you my micro philosophy. We kind of covered a little bit earlier, but you know, and all this is cliche, but it's only cliche if you don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Really. And if there's something that you want, if you have, there's this song. I'm probably delaying this too much, but there's this song I do at my shows. It's a Cody Johnson song. He didn't write it. I don't know who wrote it, but it's called "Till You Can't." Have you ever heard that song?
I have.
If you got a dream, chase it. The dream won't chase you back. Are some my favorite lyrics in that song.
Mm-hmm.
But they're powerful if you actually grab onto that, I believe. And whatever your dream is in life, your goal is, don't be scared to do it. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Just, it's going to be hard. Anything worth having, another cliche, is hard. But just do it. Don't be scared.
Amen.
And that's a plug for Nike. I'm actually sponsored. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got.
Hey, amen.
His,
Hell yeah.
his was good.
Yeah, I can't say that any better than he said it. Besides, don't give up.
That's it.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
You got a dream, go after it.
And don't be afraid to start. You can only give up if you've started. So don't be afraid to start.
Hey, and don't be afraid to be in pain in the middle of it, because you can't. The whole picture. Just go to that next tree, put one foot in front of the other, and keep
Get
going.
off your couch and do something.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
Yeah, it is.
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
live wild and free. You got anything else?
No, I was just gonna make a joke, but it's not
Oh.
appropriate.
Yeah, of course you were.
Well,
All right.
that's okay. I like inappropriate.
Yeah, we're gonna head on out tonight, folks. And thanks for tuning in. And Lyfe Chaser out.
You bet. Y'all take care.
Stromberg, you say pussy.
Hey, and fuck you, San Diego.
Did you get that, Brian?
You better have got that right. You can cut it when he